Hey folks, walk with me. Hope. Especially here in America. I think one of those things that is really put up on a pedestal and considered to be one of the greatest attributes. Maybe it feels less so in modern day America, but I think one of the things that sort of like brought, I don't know if fame is the right word. It's more like there were whisperings of hope can be found in the American dream in the United States. And hope was put as this super important thing, this thing to be sought after, and you could find it in a certain place, and so on and so forth. And this video isn't to say that there isn't value in being hopeful. I think it's obvious that there are a lot of upsides to being hopeful. One of which is to contribute, right? To do what you think is right. To get up in the morning in the hopes that fill in the blank. But something that Alan Watts said is that hope is actually a pretty dangerous thing. And what he meant by it was this idea that there's always this better tomorrow ahead. And it prevents people from relishing the present moment that they're in, relishing the today that they have, and trading it off for a tomorrow and for a next year, next decade, and so on and so forth, that they don't know that they will ever see. Now, I think that's maybe also feels a bit on the extreme side to me. I think actually a blending of things makes more sense to me. I think that there is value in being hopeful. And I think that there is also value in being content with what you have today. So you can be hopeful and you can be content with what you have today. And if you do that, I think a third and happens, which is, and if my hopefuls don't come true, or they don't pan out how I want them to, I'm content with that as well. Right? So it's like hope surrounded by, or sort of buoyed by, supported by contentment. I'm hopeful for the future, and I'm also content with today. And I'm furthermore content that if the hopes that I have for the future don't come out that way or don't happen at all, I'm content with that being the case as well. And I think if you look at something like the Happiness Research Institute out of Copenhagen, if you take a look at many studies of the world's happiest people, it's much less that they walk around being just sort of like gleefully skipping in the streets and abundantly joyful. There's a lot packed into it that's actually about how content they are with what they have, who they are, how their society is, so on and so forth. Whereas we know hope can lead to constantly seeking something better. And constantly seeking something better can lead to a lot of destruction and despair, depression, or if you get it, it can lead to a lot of greed, right? Constantly getting what you hope for can lead a person into obsessive greed. Greed of power, greed of money. Is there any difference current day, present day? Maybe not. So there are those like clear downsides as well. So that's my positioning. Hope supported by contentment on both sides. I think that alleviates some of the potential destructive nature of hope. But I would still say be aware or beware of the possibility for hope to rob you of the joy of the way that things currently are, or for hope to rob you of your ability to be a non-greedy, non-hoarding member and contributor to your society. All right, folks, so if you walked with me or watched this far, I certainly appreciate it. And as always, I will see you in the next video.